Imagine pulling off the absolute perfect heist. A master plan that makes you an overnight millionaire, leaving the police completely clueless as you escape without a trace. But then, something happens that no one could have ever predicted. The end of this thrilling story doesn't happen in a dramatic police shootout, but on a simple, everyday board game played by children. This is the story of August 1963, inside a quiet and pitch-black English countryside, where a gang of 15 mastermind thieves targeted the British Royal Mail train. The most shocking part? They didn't use a single gun or weapon to stop it. Instead, using just a leather glove and a basic battery, they hacked the railway signaling system. The moment the train signal turned from green to blood red, the driver stopped the train. Under the cover of darkness, the gang ambushed the train and uncoupled the money carriages from the rest. Now, the clock was ticking, and they had a strict, razor-thin window of just 30 minutes to pull off the entire operation. Working like clockwork, without wasting a single second, they began loading 2.5 tons of heavy sacks stuffed with banknotes into an old military truck. Because the signal was hacked, no alarms went off, and no one suspected a thing. By the time the British police realized what had actually happened, the gang had vanished into thin air, with an amount worth nearly $60 million in today's money. Following the massive heist, they hid inside a remote, abandoned farmhouse to wait out the heat and hide from the police. Surrounded by mountains of stolen cash, they made a critical blunder that would go down in history. To pass the time, they decided to play a game of Monopoly. But instead of using the toy play money, they raised the stakes using the actual, stolen millions. While the game was still ongoing, a report came over the radio that the police were closing in. Panic-stricken, they fled the house, leaving everything behind. They even paid a local man a massive sum to burn the farmhouse down. But that man took the money and ran, leaving the house and all the evidence completely intact. The clever gang had carefully wiped down every single door handle, table, and surface before escaping to leave no trace behind. But in their desperate hurry, they forgot one basic thing. They left their sweat and distinct fingerprints all over the Monopoly board, its cards, and the dice. When Britain's elite detective agency, Scotland Yard, raided the farmhouse, they discovered the board. The fingerprints matched, and within just a few weeks, almost the entire gang was behind bars. The court sentenced most of the robbers to 30 years of hard labor, but the story doesn't end there. One of the most infamous thieves, Ronnie Biggs, managed to scale the high prison walls using a rope ladder and escaped. He fled straight to Brazil, where he lived openly as a celebrity for decades. But the biggest mystery remains. Over 95% of the stolen cash has never been recovered to this day. Where did those millions go? It remains an unsolved mystery. If you had the chance, would you have played the game? Let us know in the comments.